And welcome everybody to the Daily Space Weather. I'm your museum-grade COVIDiotic host, Dan, aka smAsho. We're starting things out here looking at the sun in 1700 angstroms. Looking at Sunspot 2765 as well as a plage up in the north. We'll get back to this momentarily. And here's the view from the LASCO C2. You can see a coronal mass ejection coming out of the west, as well as it looks like the sun is giving birth to Venus. Here's the view from the LASCO C3. Again, you see Venus emerging from behind the obscuring disk on the coronagraph. And you see some ejecta coming out of both sides of the sun there. Nothing Earth-facing right now. And by the way, if you're wondering what you're listening to, it's You, Me, Us, a track from Golden Cat Productions, my record label, which you could find at soundclick.com/goldencatproductions. We've had tracks all the way up into the 36th position there on the rock genre, I think it is. And we are streaming live to Twitch. Thanks to our patrons, by the way, for being assistant and associate producers of the content. Please tell your friends and foes to help support the channel if they are willing and able, if they enjoy the content and would like to continue to see it for free. Also, we are on Subscribestar and PayPal, so visit the links below the video to our sites. Let's look at HelioViewer to look at the fields real quick. And there you see the fields faded to 171 angstroms. Another active region rising there up in the north. And let's break out Epic Pen, as I forgot to do that during show prep. How do you like that, folks? And now we're going to look at 304 angstroms. There you have that, and let's fade back to 171. Great view there of the local yellow dwarf. And let's move on to the 131 angstroms view. We did see a B-class flare happening almost exactly at midnight, which was interesting. That's midnight universal time, by the way, and let's move that. Don't fight me, PC. I will win. Microsloth. All right. And there you have that 48-hour SDO video. And you can see that flare happening toward the end about 8 hours ago. Next, we've got some custom HelioViewer movies. A great view here of that plage as well as the North Polar field area. And this is the 171/304 angstroms view. Next, we've got the same wavelength for the southern polar view, which does include Sunspot 2765, which I believe is still alpha class. We'll figure that out by the end of the video. And once again, you can see that B-class flare, which happened right at midnight UT. Here's the KP index, which is at 1 for the past 6 hours, and the 10.7 centimeter radio flux, which for you new viewers out there is a good proxy for sunspot number when we're monitoring solar activity. Still at 70 solar flux units, so basically solar minimum conditions, but we see lots of cycle 25 stuff. And we've moved on to the cosmology segment, as there are some interesting stories once again about Fermi bubbles and hydrogen spectra, emission spectra, absorption spectra, etc. Let's get to it during this cosmology segment. First of all, we're going to talk about polars. Turns out that PTF 1J2224 plus 17 is a polar. If you're wondering what a polar is, it's a type of a cataclysmic variable where you've got a white dwarf and a binary star companion, where the white dwarf has an extremely strong magnetic field. It's a type of a catastrophic variable. So, and these increase in brightness and they change their spectral lines quite a lot. And if you see cyclotron radiation, The cyclotron humps are an indication that it is apolar. Again, apolar is a type of catastrophic variable that includes a very, very strong magnetic field in the white dwarf. Now, part of the reason this is so weird is because it has a very, very short periodicity of only 103.82 minutes. So that's an interesting one there. The article is on phys.org's Astronomy and Space section. Next, let's talk about terrestrial gamma ray bursts. Were you aware that gamma rays come out of the Earth? Well, it's a thing. And here's an article about it from SciTech Daily. They're being studied, by the way, from the space station. Terrestrial gamma ray flashes. They're associated with sprites and elves and high altitude thermospheric lightning. So if you'd like to read that one, have yourself a read there on SciTech Daily. Probably my favorite overall science publication. One of my favorite publications, period, on the internet. Let's talk about WHAM. Wait, what? This is a cosmology segment. Why are we talking about WHAM? Not that WHAM. The Wisconsin H-alpha mapper, which, by the way, has been taking some very detailed spectral images of the Fermi bubbles emanating from the Milky Way galaxy's galactic core, the massive radio source known as Sagittarius A star. So here's an article about this, also on SciTech Daily. This one will be all over the science publications all day and all week because we're getting some optical measurements here. And these Fermi bubbles here, these are about 25,000 light years on each side. So that's about 1/3 the entire estimated diameter of the Milky Way galaxy is how big those bubbles are. And what you're looking at here is you're seeing, so this is gamma ray, this is X-ray, and yeah, so it's an interesting region, let's just say. And this is sort of like part of the plasma sphere of the Milky Way galaxy, as it is very difficult to see what's going on at the galactic core due to gas and dust obscuring the view of the massive radio source known as Sagittarius A star. And I don't know what else I was going to say about that. Just read the article if you're not familiar with the Fermi bubbles. And where will you be at the time of the solstice? We will be streaming live to Twitch, to Facebook, and to YouTube all at the same time for our Solstice Stream 2020. And yes, I know I spelled it wrong. It was on purpose. If you're wondering when it happens, well, you can figure it out by going to timeanddate.com and allow me to take a moment to put up my test pattern. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're in the Smash bunker, folks. Why? Well, it's because Tom Wolfe is a COVIDiot, museum-grade COVIDiot. By the way, we will also feature call-ins, and if you ever want to call or text me, feel free to do so on the smAsho VoIP line. The number is +1 610 936 9799. If you're from out of the U.S., you have to type 1 ahead of, that's the country code, +1 610 936 9799, the smAsho VoIP line. And if you'd like to set up a VoIP phone for yourself, Talkatone's a good choice. It allows you to talk or text for free. I'm not paid to say it. I'm just giving you advice on how to beef up your smartphone. If you've got access to Wi-Fi but no access to a cell tower, you can still use your phone for phone calls by setting up Talkatone. It's completely free. You can download it from the App Store or from Google Play. Let's see where objects are located in the solar system as we close out this cosmology segment. There's where things are now. It's full moon. There's where things will be in a week. We couldn't see the full moon. It was cloudy and rainy all night. And here's where stuff is above my head. I like to use in-the-sky.org to make my sky charts. I face my sky chart to the south. And this is the all-sky chart, if you're wondering. I face mine to the south because I'm currently facing south, and my sofa faces south. Although my bed, the feet face to the east, and the head faces to the west. I'm flying feet first through space, folks. Welcome to space. By the way, if you're watching live on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/smAsho. Go over there and subscribe if you want to see the videos live. And if you wake up before sunrise, you should be able to see Jupiter and Saturn and Mars on or near the ecliptic. There's that B-class flare looking at the GOES X-ray flux. And you see that little B-class flare. It was about a B... I want to say B4, but don't quote me on it. There's no reason to really care. Oh, wait. It was a B3.5. There you go. B3.5, coming in at 1 minute after midnight. Proton flux is still flatlined. No surprises there. We don't see any big coronal mass ejections. At least not in the Earth-facing zone, which is, by the way, where that is measured. It's measured in between the Earth and the Sun, near the F2 ionosphere layer, at the ionosphere layer boundary. Next, looking at the real-time solar wind. Phi angle is about 258 degrees. Solar wind density having ramped down from yesterday to about 6 protons per cubic centimeter there, 5.6. And solar wind speed at 333 kilometers a second. Nothing to really write home about there. Next, geospace magnetosphere movies to show you the pressure is quite steady. No magnetic anomalies. Nothing too exciting happening there in the magnetosphere. So there's 4 hours of data. We typically always archive that. If you want to see what was happening a year ago on this date at the magnetosphere, well, watch our video from a year ago. It's there on YouTube. Let's talk about the magnetosphere real quick, as these things can be a little bit counterintuitive and confusing. So we're just showing you the layers here, and this is a NASA page. And I would note that the size of these things, the size of things like the plasmasphere and the Van Allen belts, which hold the plasma in those areas, those are belts of electrons flowing around, those things completely change in size with incoming solar activity as well as magnetic changes. So if you want to read about the magnetosphere, I found this one by searching for Earth magnetosphere regions diagram. So that was the first result I got there, telling you what layers are which. Next, let's get a little closer to home here, looking at ground geospace magnetic perturbations. During this polar excursion, when we're wondering what will happen next, the South Atlantic anomaly has split in two. We've got 2 North Poles, one over Siberia, one over Canada, and the South Pole has crept into the southern Indian Ocean. It's someplace around here. Well off of the Antarctic continent is the South Geomagnetic Pole. There's 4 hours of data from ground magnetic perturbations, nothing to write home about there. Next, the GOES magnetometer. There you can see the data from that. Nothing too exciting happening there. Next, looking at the GONG-2 data to see the top view ecliptic plane field plot showing us, as forecasted, solidly in the North Pole-oriented portion of the current sheet, shown here in green. As the sun ramps up into more and more activity, we see cycle 25 after cycle 25 after cycle 25 activity. An indication that I was 100% right when I forecasted cycle 25 to begin at the end of August or beginning of September 2019. This data is 1 hour and 51 minutes old, and keep in mind the magnetic environment can change with 0 warning. Here's the line of sight field plot showing the B field, and you're going to see some distortions of the B field over here in the east, again as I forecasted, and that is a result of that Sunspot 2765, which is pretty big. It's about twice the diameter of the Earth. Not big on sunspot scales, but decent size. Next, looking at the greater than 2 mega electron volt electron flux, and you can see how flatlined this is and how the downtrend happened here. Major downtrend since August, and this area here is incredibly flatlined. I have no explanation for that. Here's the GOES electron flux. This is greater than or equal to 2 mega electron volts measured by the GOES 16, and you can see quite low levels there of electron flux also. And next, looking at the entire air column here, the total electron content forecast, an indication that your GPS will be working quite well today. We do see a few anomalies here. You see some little electron spikes over the Caribbean, Mexico, areas like that at nighttime. So a little bit of anomaly there. And you'll see that retention of electrons there over the Caribbean. Next, looking at the ionosphere, just one of those layers. And it's, I don't know, it's pretty normal. I don't know what to say. Cheers. It's pretty normal. Although this last image here at 8:30 UT, that's universal time for your new viewers out there, that is a little anomalous. It's a little bit charged up on the nighttime side. Next, looking at earthquakes, we did see a 6.4 strike Indonesia at 8:49, basically as we did the show yesterday. And we always view these videos live at a live premiere event on YouTube. So please join us for those. If you don't, when we do a premiere, it's because we have to view our own videos, not only to edit them, but for the information to sink into my brain. There's where that 6.4 happened. There have been no tsunami advisory, warnings, watches, or threats. Let's go up the list. By the way, that was a deep quake. It's at 106 kilometers and a 6.4 magnitude. It could indeed yield a larger quake. Let's hope not. There's a deep quake at Chile, 121 kilometers. There's a deep quake at Japan, 140 kilometers. Here's a deep quake at Vanuatu, 146 kilometers. So there you go. The largest of the past 24 was at 6.4 magnitude at Indonesia, and it was at depth. So heads up, folks, if you are in an earthquake-prone zone, please have a plan. This zone right here has tons of deep earthquakes, as well as this zone right here. And we are currently in a drought of 7 and 8 magnitude quakes. Please have a plan, have a bug-out bag. Know which building facades may crumble if you decide to evacuate yours. Just having an idea of that is a better plan than none at all. Let's look at volcanoes. Today, June 5th's list includes, here at volcanodiscovery.com, Mount Aso producing a 6,000-foot flight level, Sakurajima flight level 8,000. There are continuous emissions from Dacono. And we see some incandescence from Revenador there in that photo. Dacono producing a flight level of 7,000. Popocatépetl exploding, flight level 24,000 there. Sangay exploding, flight level 18,000 there. Revenador. Continuous ash emissions. 15,000-foot ash plume there. And sporadic emissions at Nevados de Chilean are an indication not to attempt to fly your hang glider over the caldera. Next, looking at COVIDIOTS. And if you're wondering, let me make sure I can see this right. This says, Tom Wolfe is a COVIDiot. You hear that? Now, Pennsylvania is opening back up today. Tom Wolfe is a 100% COVIDiot. That's the governor of Pennsylvania, in case you're wondering. Also, former NCAA linebacker Dr. Rachel Levine is a complete COVIDiot. Wear masks because reasons. Stay locked down because reasons. Check out this story. According to Professor Carl Friston, 80% of Brits not even susceptible to COVID-19. Yeah, not even susceptible. Hey, Tom, thanks for, quote, opening the state back up. I will continue to refer to you as a museum-grade COVIDiot until you are out of the news and out of the governor's mansion, which should happen, by the way, today. And by the way, if you do a web search for petitions to impeach and recall and get rid of Tom Wolfe in any possible way, legally, of course, you will find dozens and dozens of petitions. By the way, if you're considering purchasing a bike, there's a bit of a shortage going on. Someplace you may be able to find one is at theveloshop.net. It's theveloshop.net, our cycling sponsor. Give Becky a call, which I'll be doing today, because we're trying to organize a group ride on Sunday. We will not be social distancing or wearing masks, and I will be inviting all the riders to cough right on me. Congratulations, mankind, for curing racism by posting a bunch of black squares like complete COVIDiots on the internet. Have you watched our term ethics defined? Terms defined. ethics. Have you seen it? It is on BitChute. Are you locked down right now? Are you like a little bit annoyed at the government? Has the government been irritating you? Have you checked out our related content channels? Have you checked out our playlists? We've got hundreds and hundreds of videos and playlists. There are the playlists. Check it out. youtube.com/smAsho. We're also on BitChute, thanks to all of our BitChute subs. I see we've got a couple more subs over there. Keep it going, folks. Keep sharing. Don't forget to check out alt tech sites, as big tech can't break the internet, but the internet can break you, big tech. Google, Facebook, and Twitter especially. Have you checked out smAshomash.com/forum? We got a dream log there. Have you read my dream about sniffing paint with Lance Armstrong and Tyler Hamilton? Would you like to record your dreams for the amusement of others? Or perhaps just to create a log? Everybody should have a dream log, by the way. When you have a dream, you should write it down before you forget. Your brain is designed to forget those dreams. So don't forget them. Remember them by writing them down. Because your short-term memory is designed... You're not supposed to remember dreams, folks. So when you do, consider it divine providence. We've also got a COVIDIOTS thread here in the General Science Forum. The psychology of covidiocy. And yes, I have included a meme of the mask that I was wearing. Tom Wolfe and Rachel Levine. Museum-grade COVIDIOTS. Destroying the economy of Pennsylvania single-handedly. Tom Wolfe and Dr. Rachel Levine, the, quote, State Physician General, Museum-grade COVIDIOTS. We've also got Cosmology Forum, Earth and Geophysics Forum, The Sun, and one for new users. And check it out, folks. This is absolutely incredible. Up to 1,230 users now. If you want to contribute, you need to set up a login. 1,230 users. We've nearly tripled the amount of users in the past 2 weeks. Incredible. smAshomash.com/forum. It's also got links to some of our other social media. And we are all over the internet. And allow me to stop looking like such a freaking, absolutely moronic, mentally handicapped COVIDiot. We're also on Facebook. We've also got a page there called Entropy Busters, as our viewers are massive entropy busters, as the state of government and science nowadays are just rife with entropy. So help us bust it. We're also on Twitter. Are you aware that if you search for racist on Twitter, you will find Donald Trump? What's up with that? You type in #racist, you get, okay. Hey, look, it looks like it's a black cop arresting a black guy as a dog chews his arm off. We're also on Gab. I don't know. It's an alternative to Twitter. And I believe Trump is on Gab now also, if you weren't aware. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to say China. Don't forget to learn how to say China. Follow us also on Minds, the alternative to Facebook, where you won't get censored, you won't get shadow banned. You can even trade tokens and earn cryptocurrency over at Minds.com. So head over to Minds.com. Thanks, Boj, for sending us a token. We appreciate that. We will use it in a completely irresponsible fashion. Just kidding. Also, if you'd like to help to protect your neighbors by networking your neighborhood online, try out Nextdoor.com. We didn't have a Nextdoor.com neighborhood for my neighborhood, so I became the lead and I created one. We've got about half of our households in the local neighborhood, and the local network contains about 1,200 users. Nextdoor.com will even send out physical postcards to your neighbors because chances are you don't know your neighbors' email addresses. Nextdoor.com. It'll help you survive a global pandemic. I've survived so far. Have you? Your ancestors have survived much worse than a, quote, spooky, scary global pandemic full of COVIDiots doing COVIDiotic things on the regs. Please leave a comment if you think the word COVIDiots will be the word of the year in 2020. We've got all kinds of warnings, including a tropical storm warning, in the Gulf of Mexico. We've got flood watches, Florida, Louisiana, down the Mississippi Valley, hydrologic outputs. Check it out, a weather map. Check out that weather map if you like. It's located at weather.gov. Next, let's look at the jet streams. Here are the jets of the western world, and they are all over the place, folks. Moving backwards over here. Man, that is extreme jet stream flow right there. Doubled up and tripled up over the southern hemisphere. Check it out. Big bends. Very strange. Very odd jet stream behavior, folks. Here's the eastern world. Let me rotate that a little bit. There are the jets of the eastern world, and you can see they're doubled up and tripled up, and they're all over the place. I mean, look at the complete chaos going on in the jet stream there. Barely a coherent jet stream at all. And here's the chaos in the south. Wow. Next, we'll look at some weather stuff. Here's windy.com's pressure maps. Windy.com, by the way, has a great mobile app. You can download that for free. We're advancing this 24 hours into the GFS forecast. Here's where we think things will be tomorrow at noon my time. Next, we'll look at water vapor maps for Europe and Africa. Water vapor maps for the Far East and Oceania. Lightning maps, lightningmaps.org. It's brilliant. Would you like to forecast thunder and freak out your foes and impress your friends? Well, check it out. Lightningmaps.org, next time you hear thunder. Highly recommended. And hey, Kansas City, there's thunder rolling in. And you are getting hit. Check it out. Dag. Some serious thunder and lightning happening there. And here are the storms that are causing it. Northern Iowa also getting hammered. Shout out to Aubrey. Hopefully you will not have to wear a hard hat and light a candle. Next, we'll look at water vapor maps. Here's one of the U.S. Let me blow that up. Let me blow up your spot, yo. I'm going to blow up your spot, yo. Yo, kid. Don't blow up my spot with water vapor maps, know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Know what I mean? Check it out. It's an atmospheric creek. It's an atmospheric creek. Not big enough to be an atmospheric river. And let's zoom in on northern Iowa. And there you'll have some idea of what's going on. And those are stagnating a little bit. It's going to take them a while to make their way to the east, it looks like, as we've got this mass of dry air right here, which is creating a bookend situation and a bunch of compression. Hey, Smash team, thanks for tuning into the Smash stream. We did stream it live. It's twitch.tv/smAsho. You think more people would go over there and subscribe, but apparently not. Sunspot 2765 really only has one major umbra. It is trailed by a bunch of little active regions here. Not sure if those are being counted or not, and I don't particularly care. You can see penumbra also. Sunspot 2765 is about twice the Earth's diameter. And here are the fields. There's the most current refresh. And so if we do get umbrae there, I'm not sure if those are umbrae or not. I think they probably are. This could be named to a beta class. Something to keep an eye on throughout the day. And when I say eye on, well, the pun is entirely intentional. Next, let's look at the 48-hour video here on the SDO in 94 angstroms. Now, this one takes 10 images per minute instead of only 2. Something that only the 94 and 131 angstroms views do, because these are specifically designed to watch solar flares, sunspots, coronal mass ejections, etc. So there's that view, Sunspot 2765. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, stare at the sun, don't drink. If you do, don't drive. Don't be a COVIDiot. And since it'll never be now again, welcome to the Neo-Renaissance. Visit our sites, help support the channel, please. And may that solar wind be at your back, and that atherosclerosis absent from your arteries, and those COVIDIOTS absent from your multiverse.